this is Jenny Grace, and you're listening to Hank Jr. on Hank's Corner.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Hank's Corner. I am your host, Hank Jr. You know I'm part of Hank Jr. Productions, where I'm documenting life's moments through photography, videography, and, of course, now over 100 episodes in podcasting. And my next guest, you may have seen her on a recent New Music Friday post. Please welcome to the show, Jenny Grace. Jenny, how are you doing tonight?
Hi, I'm great. Thank you for having me.
Oh, I'm glad that you're here because I know you have a busy schedule. So anytime that, I can get somebody on, it's just always an honor because I know you guys are very busy. Not only that you're very busy, but you guys are often traveling a lot. Are you calling in from Nashville, your hometown right now?
Yeah, so I just got back from Nashville. I played Whiskey Jam 2 days ago and still kind of recovering from the drive because I'm back up here in Connecticut for the summer visiting family. So it's been crazy. Back to work Monday and then in the car 15 hours over the weekend. So yeah, my body's like recovering.
I can imagine. How often are you making that trip between Connecticut and Nashville?
Pretty often. I actually hate flying, so I stubbornly do drive a lot, which I know it's bad, but I just I'm afraid of flying.
Oh,
So,
really?
yeah.
Okay. Well, that must be a long drive. I know I broadcast here in a little corner in the Tampa Bay area. Most people know that. And it takes me about a good 10 hours of driving time to get there. So depending who I'm with and how many stops I have to make. So I can imagine coming from Connecticut, though.
Yeah, I mean, it's so my drummer lives in Pennsylvania, and then my guitarist is from Connecticut. So we get in the car and then we drive to PA, and then the guy in PA, the drummer, he's only like 10 hours like you are. So it's not too bad. 10 hours isn't that bad for him, so.
Okay, so you just pick up people along the way and make it to Nashville and start playing. I like that. And how long have you been staying in Nashville now?
I moved there last September, like August time frame. So, it's just home now. Like every time I even leave to go to my parents here in Connecticut, I'm just like, this is not home anymore. Like home is just Nashville. It's always felt like home.
Yeah, so I guess you decided to take that leap and, make Nashville your home. And it's such a great place. I enjoy going there quite often, and I'm looking forward to the next time I get to get up there and do some photo shoots with everybody and that sort of thing. But you have a new song that's just released. It's your follow-up to Ghost. Your new song is called Dreaming. It's doing pretty well. I know I'm enjoying the song, and I was actually just playing it not too long ago, just kind of prepping for the interview. And my wife's like, that should be on the radio. And so, I think it's getting a good reaction from everybody. Tell me a little bit about the song Dreamin'.
Sure. So I wrote it, kind of was collaborating with someone musically a couple years ago. And we had like a strong, connection. But unfortunately, the person was in a relationship and so was I. So we couldn't be together, but I definitely dreamed of him. I'm sure he dreamed of me. We never talked about it. But, I feel like when you have those powerful connections, like it's usually mutual, so.
Yeah. And so, how was it, making the release? Because it's your follow up to, to Ghost. Were you expecting it to, do really well? Or what was your kind of take on, the public's persona on that?
Yeah, so Ghost really didn't have much promotion. It's doing really well on Spotify. It has like 55,000 streams without promotion. So I can imagine like when I get a label, like how things will blow up, that'll be nice. But Dreaming is picking up. It just got added to a major playlist, country, I forgot what it's called, but my numbers have definitely been going up. I'm going to drop the video by the end of this month. So I think once I do the video too, people are going to see some more. And then I just played in Nashville at Whiskey Jam, which is like one of the biggest shows. So people have definitely been asking me who I am and talking about me and like, who's Jenny Grace? And they're searching me, like they want more music. So that's why we got to get this video out.
Yeah, definitely. I definitely believe that you're going somewhere, and I'm glad to get you early on before you get too big, and we'll be able to come on to the Hank's Corner show. But, I'm definitely liking the song Dreamin', and I want to go ahead and play that first here on Hank's Corner.
different lives, and this distance seems so far away. And I don't really know you, but somehow it feels like I do. All that I can see is that you're always in my energy. One look from you, and my heart is on fire. I know I shouldn't, but sometimes I think about you and dream about you. Oh yeah, I know I couldn't tell you just what I'm feeling, so now I'm dreaming of you. Did I know you in another time? Seems like our worlds collide. And now that you're here, there's nothing that seems clear. Tell me what you mean when I look into your eyes. Turn me upside down. No, I can't forget you now. I know I shouldn't, but sometimes I think about you and dream about you. Oh yeah, I know I couldn't tell you just what I'm feeling, so now I'm dreaming of you. I'll be dreaming of you. I'll be dreaming. Tell me, do you dream of me too? I know I shouldn't, but sometimes I think about you and dream about you. Yeah, I know I shouldn't, but sometimes I think about you and dream about you. Yeah, I know I couldn't tell you just what I'm feeling, so now I'm dreaming of you. Dreaming of you. Dreaming. Tell me, do you dream of me too?
Welcome back to Hank's Corner. I'm Hank Jr. here with my special guest, Jenny Grace, and you just heard her latest song, Dreamin'. Now, I want to take a little time because I know a little bit about your history, and it's not kind of like a lot of the artists that I've talked to where, they tell me, hey, from 5 years old, I was singing, with a hairbrush, and, I knew I was going to be in music. You didn't get into it until later on. And for those who have been following me know that I am a supporter of Freedom Jam, which is a concert series that's out there in St. Louis twice a year. And I'll be going back out there in September, where we are supporting veterans, and the proceeds go to the veterans and first responders that might need something. And I bring that up because, Jenny, I want to thank you first of all. I know that you're retired from the military, and that's why I kind of wanted to bring that up. So first of all, thank you for the service, and tell us a little bit about how that kind of coincide, because it was actually while you were in the military where you decided, hey, music might be for me.
Yeah, I didn't have like the traditional, like, I want to be a star. I knew I could sing as a kid, but it really made me nervous. Like, I didn't like the attention. People always asking me to sing at my parents' parties. Being like 8 years old is just like, I just want to play. Like, I don't want to come in here and sing. I'm playing outside with people. Like, I don't want to come in. So it really came to me because I was over in the desert in Iraq, and I was hanging out. We had some downtime, and it was very stressful because I was in intelligence corps. So in case you don't know, people seek out therapists for that because it's like one of those intense MOSs where you deal with a lot of stuff. So
Mhm.
my dad shipped me a Takamine, and I had learned growing up a couple chords from him because he was a guitar player, but I just kind of used what I remembered from him, and then I came across some music people that were overseas, and we all started playing. Like, it was our thing. I was night shift, so every night after night shift, like 3, 4 in the morning, 5 in the morning, I'd meet in the chaplain's office, and we would start playing country songs. And eventually we had a whole following around that came in and would just listen, and it became a thing.
Yeah, and like I said, I've had now over 100 episodes of Hank's Corner, which I'm very happy about. That's why I kind of bring it up. I'm very kind of happy, but it's really the artists that come on here that make it. And a few of them have already, like you, been in the military, retired, or maybe still serving in some capacity or another. And a lot of them have told me that that was kind of their therapy, their release, their to get away from what was going on. Was that the similar situation with you out there?
Yes, definitely. Because, like I said, intelligence, I mean, we were doing like 3 interrogations a night, and it's just back to back. And, you get dealt some heavy stuff. They talk about some heavy stuff, these people. And it's taxing on you. So, how do you detach from that? You can't just go to sleep with that kind of stuff in your head and stuff. So, playing the guitar was so therapeutic for me. And especially after the military, I had a hard time transitioning because I went to college. So, I just couldn't really fit into society. So I was like, anywhere I went, I'd take my guitar. When I was at UConn in the campus, I would take it to the music rooms and just do that for hours. And it really was therapeutic for me to write and to play piano, sing, play guitar, it's been proven. They use, music therapy to help people. So I think music really is therapeutic.
Yeah, definitely. There's just something about music from the beginning of time that, whether it's therapy or just, you celebrate with it, or, like Clint Black, he said, you listen to a note and it takes you back to your history. I mean, there's just something powerful about music.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And I'm curious though. So, obviously you're playing it to kind of help you out, feel better, enjoy doing it. But when did you decide to make the step and say, hey, this is kind of something that I want to do professionally?
Well, I always knew I wanted to. So I moved to Nashville when I was like 20, and I was not ready. I had somebody who met me overseas that said, we're going to go. You got everything it takes. We just got to get down there. So I moved there. I was there for like 3 months, and I didn't like the lifestyle. I had to live in a, house with like 3 other people. I had no money. I was like, I can't do this. So I went home to Connecticut and went to college. And then I went into corporate after college, and I started to be like, there's got to be more than this. Like, going to a corporate job, I went to school for computers. So I'm like working on computers all day, and it's just like the 9 to 5. And I'm just like, there's got to be more. And so whenever I'd come home, I'd be driving and have a commute. I'd turn on the radio, and then I would get inspiration to write, and I would start like singing into my phone. I'd like get voice memos and be like, I got to get this out. And then, so my brother and I, he's a little younger than me, we would write songs together. He's like a virtuoso. He plays all the instruments you can think of. And we had a band in Connecticut a little bit, but the problem is here, it's all cover bands. It's, tribute bands. It's like rock, and there's really not a lot of country. So I still was like, what am I doing? It wasn't until I got someone in the music industry who discovered me and said, you have what it takes, but we need to make you into country because you're very rock and you sound great, but there's a certain singing that country has. And we worked for years. I studied with Faith Hill's teacher, and then I think I came into my own. And then there's a whole other story with the writing that took a couple years too. But I think finally now I'm like really getting what I need to get, I think, so.
Yeah, and your story is kind of similar to what you may see in the movies or whatever, because that is the musician's lifestyle, to where unless you got great connections from the very beginning, you are going to have to maybe live with 3 other people in a house, and
Yep.
do the covers and do whatever it takes just to kind of make ends meet. But eventually you kind of hope for that big break, and I think social media has changed everything on how you get that big break, whether it's in Nashville or you get a whole bunch of followers following and just go viral one day. But it is, very common what you're going through. And, I'm always impressed by music artists that try that. It's very difficult. And that's why I do what I do for free for you guys. I do the photos, I do video, I do the podcasting. I do that all to support you because it's not an easy life.
Yeah, that's nice. I saw you did some photography. That's awesome. If I'm ever in Tampa, maybe we could set up a shoot or something. That'd be cool.
Yeah, definitely Tampa. Or like I said, I'm up in Nashville quite a bit, and I'm always looking to do that. And I do want to touch a little bit more on the songwriting aspect of it,
Mhm.
because I know that you kind of write a lot of experiences that come from your personal life, correct?
Yes. When I first got to Nashville in 2018 and I made a record professionally. I, was writing for what would be a hit, what would be popular, what's not going to like be authentic. Cause I was afraid to be authentic and write, what was in my heart, because then people would judge me. They'd say, who's this song about? And I went through some crazy experiences with relationships, and I dated someone who was like, who's this song about? And would just get really jealous. And it really affected my writing, because as a writer, you can't be with someone who doesn't understand like the songwriting process. Like, I'm pretty sure Dolly's husband understands that, hey, she's writing about a guy and it's not me, but I can't be jealous.
Right, right. I
So
never really thought about that, because a lot of people that I've had on my shows I like to call it the Taylor Swift syndrome. Somebody does something bad to you and you're going to write about it. But I've never looked at it from the other aspect, on having a boyfriend, girlfriend, spouse, whatever it may be, and saying, hey, you wrote something that is very, romantic or very, sexy, whatever it may be. But I know that's not about us. So that's a very interesting point. I have not heard that yet.
yes, it's what we go through, and it's so hard to find someone that can understand you as a writer, because everyone else looks like you. Like, well, first of all, my family, everyone, it's like, you're weird, you're in Nashville, you're writing, like, why don't you be normal? And so you get that, and then you try to find someone who understands you, and you're a songwriter and you're a singer and all this stuff, and so the guys have to accept that you're on the stage. Other men are looking at you. Like, there's so many things. It's very hard to be an artist, and then on top of it, a writer, because who's this about? And so finally I got rid of that situation, and I just said, that's it, I'm writing what's in my heart. Obviously God put me through an experience that he wants me to talk about, because why else would I go through that? And so I started to write, and all these songs, like from Ghost, Dreaming, all that is like what's in my heart. There's no like, oh, what's someone gonna think, oh, what's not popular. It's literally like Jenny Grace, the style that she is, which is kind of Americana, kind of some rock. And that's who I am. I'm not gonna like try to conform. So I think that when you do that, you really get like the good. That's when you get the gold. So I'm trying
Yeah.
to keep doing that.
Yeah, and one of the things I always like to ask about on my show is the very first song that somebody has ever written. And I heard a little bit of a rumor that even your very first song was written about somebody, about your life. And tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, so the first song was called Baby Come Home, and it was about a guy who was overseas. We had met overseas, and he had stayed there for his deployment, and I was at college. And the song is called Baby Come Home. It's a real, croony country kind of thing. And I always say that when I go to Nashville, I get like inspired to write, and these melodies will come into my head. And I don't know, something about Nashville. Maybe it's like the artists that have gone in the past that kind of like inspire. I don't know, but that melody is like pretty classic. There's like there's a YouTube video of it. I've never really cut it, but like there's a video of me singing it with a piano in a studio on YouTube. So it's pretty interesting. You can check it out.
Yeah, and that's a good segue to, make sure you check out, Jenny Grace on social media. You're going to find her under Jenny Grace Official. Of course, I got the website listed below, jennygracemusic.com. Be sure to check that out and see the latest of what she's doing. And, we talked a little bit about Ghost already. Ghost, you're doing really well. Like you said, it's about 53,000 streams alone on Spotify. And the video on YouTube has got about 7,500. So it's doing really well. And that was also a song that you kind of wrote from, your personal living life, correct?
Yes. So we had this great love story, me and someone, and it just never worked out because of other relationships or timing or whatever was going on. And then the person really acted like nothing happened. And, I kind of acted like nothing happened too, because honestly, it would have ruined my life. So, we became ghosts to each other. And it's just such a weird feeling. It's like, but we had this great love and we even talked about it. And then you just act like everything's okay. Like I see you at the gym and you just don't even look at me. Like how is this reality? And you know that that person still loves you, but they're just doing what society wants. And it's like a tragedy. So, but there's also a happy part of the chorus. The chorus changes to a major key because the verses are in minor and then the chorus goes to major. And it's sort of happy because it says, well, basically, F you. I have moved on, and I thank you for empowering me because you being the ridiculous person you are has made me be like, well, I'm great, and I don't need you anyway. So, bye.
Yeah. Well, that's definitely good that it ends on a good note, so to speak, pun intended. And so let's go ahead and play Ghost here on Hank's Corner.
Did you think it would be easy to pretend you don't care, to forget about our past and hide away in your fear? You know you were never the same when you saw me for the first time. And the years go by, you live in denial. And how's it feel when they still bring up my name? I haunt you day and night. I follow you around this town. Though you try to run and hide, in your eyes the truth is found. And even though you made me a ghost and something inside me died, well baby, I never felt so alive. Well, does she know about the games you play when you're sitting there alone and pretending to read? And when she asks about me, do you tell her I'm an old flame? You know she was never the same when she saw us for the first time. And the years go by, you stay in denial. And how's it feel when she still brings up my name? I haunt you day and night. I'll follow you around this town. Though you try to run and hide, in your eyes the truth is found. And even though you made me your ghost, something inside me died. Well baby, I never felt so alive. When you see what you lost and you wanna run to me, I won't be there, oh no, 'cause I set myself free. I'll haunt you day and night. I'll follow you around this town. Though you try to run and hide, in your eyes the truth is found. And even though you made me your ghost and something inside me died, but baby, I never felt so alive.
And you just heard Ghost there by Jenny Grace here on Hank's Corner. I'm Hank Jr., where I'm documenting these life moments. And that's why we love hearing these stories, because these are your life moments that you're sharing with us. And we love that. But we also like to talk about some fun things too, because I know, first of all, though, that for a musician, that takes up pretty much all your day. That's all you're doing, either writing songs, practicing, social media, whatever it takes to, get you going further. But when you do have the chance to, have a little bit of downtime, I know that you're very active in many things, and I'd love to hear about it. I mean, you're into motorcycles, you're hiking, you're going to the gym. Tell us a little bit about what you're doing in your off time.
Sure. So I'm an Aries, and like I don't know if you believe in horoscopes, but Aries are like very like active, high energy. Just always been that way since I was a kid. I was always was an athlete. So that's why I love the military so much, because it was so much physical activity, lots of running, lots of hiking, just everything I loved. And then I do have motorcycles. I've been riding for a while. My dad kind of raised me on them. And I have a Triumph Triple R, which is like a sport bike. And I just love it. I mean, there's something about being on a motorcycle where, you kind of play with fire, but in a good way. And, it's just really freeing. And people that never tried it, I think they don't know what they're missing. So.
Yeah, I'm sure they're definitely fun. I've never been really good. I mean, I tried a moped back when I was very young. It wasn't very successful, so I don't want to try a motorcycle, but definitely be careful out there because, they do come with a little bit of a risk as well. But you mentioned, whether it's the military or out there just, riding the bikes and doing something, you've been a lot of places. What are some of the favorite places that you've been to and why?
Yeah, so I went to the islands a couple years ago. It's off the coast of Hawaii. It's called Bora Bora. And I just really wanted to see, the world's outside, like all these places are overdone. The Caribbean's overdone. It's like, I want to see real like island, like deserted islands. So I went there. I went to Cambodia and Thailand. So Cambodia is like, if you've ever seen Lara Croft, you ever seen it?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so that ruin she goes to, I was like, I want to explore that because I'm just like crazy. I love, adrenaline stuff. I love, ancient civilizations. I'm like super nerdy and it's just like, this is what I like to do. So,
hey, I definitely enjoy that. My wife's a history buff as well. So,
awesome.
We like seeing some of those things. But, you mentioned movie as well. And one of the questions I wanted to ask you, without getting too deep into your, the military aspect and
Sure.
what you did, but, as far as it comes to dramas and movies or TV shows, is there any type of spy drama that you just really like watching?
Oh, I love anything Angelina Jolie. Saw all her movies. She's a great actress. Honestly, I've been around CIA people, and in real life, she probably would have been she would have been a really good spy because she's really intelligent and she really nails the roles. And I wouldn't say that about most actors, but I think she's pretty like definitely intelligent. So
Yeah, because I think she did what Mr. and Mrs. Smith too. I think that
yeah,
was
which was very clever. And I think
mhm.
Brad is the same. Like I could see him as an FBI agent. He's super tactical. You really have to own the part, and those two definitely. They own the part. I've been around agents, like you have to be athletic, you have to be, tactical, and for sure that those two do a good job at it.
Yeah, and me personally, I just started watching the Lioness on Paramount. Jury's still out on whether or not I'm definitely going to really enjoy it, but I've gotten through a couple episodes, and we'll see how that goes.
I saw that last night. I didn't touch it though because I don't want to get addicted because I'm going to be on it all the time.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's one thing to watch a movie, but when you start a series, then you kind of like, okay, I gotta keep going.
Oh yeah, that's what happened to me with Outlander. I was like always on the couch, and I was like, I can't do this.
Definitely, it does take up a lot of time. And
yeah.
I know I talk about social media and stuff, and did I see somewhere on social media that you also do modeling?
Yes, I'm signed to Dynasty in Boston. So, I mean, a lot of times they just want someone that's 5'9" and has a European look, and you get booked. It's like, I don't fit into Nashville, but in the modeling world, that's like what they want, I guess. So it's extra money. It helps me pay the bills.
I was just gonna say, is that something you like doing? And then when we talk about videos as well, because you're in front of a camera that way, is that something you like doing?
Yeah, I like it. I mean, I think if I had really stuck to it, I could have done Hollywood acting. I think I'm decent at it. I think I have a strong face and whatever, strong personality. But so when I get in front of the camera, it's not bad. And the thing is, modeling does help me because you can't be shy if you're on a photo shoot because you're getting paid good money to model some clothes. And so even when I go on the stage, it helps me too, because I used to be really nervous on the stage, but now like my walk and everything, it's like it just gave me a lot of confidence, so.
Yeah, you kind of remind me a little bit of Stephanie Ryan, who's also out there from the New England, who started out modeling. She was also a firefighter too. So between the two of you, you got tough jobs and then modeling, and then come out with music. You got the whole package right there, and kind of reminds me of that. And of course, I always have to talk about food on my podcast. And being that you do travel a lot, you're up in the Northeast. What are some of the foods that you're enjoying?
So I am like vegetarian, so I struggle sometimes in Nashville to find food.
With all that hot chicken around.
Out in LA, there's like plenty of stuff for me to eat, but I like a good salad. When I was down there, what did I have? I had some good Thai right downtown on Music Row, like Thai or something it's called. It's delicious. I love Thai food. I love Asian food.
Oh, okay. Very interesting. And of course, you're on my playlist, and now you're officially going to be on the Hank's Corner guest playlist. But tell me, what are some of the songs and artists that are currently on your playlist?
Sure. So my playlists are very diverse. I just went to go see Metallica actually in New Jersey.
Okay.
They just
How was that?
Amazing. They never disappoint. Yeah, so I like them. Like if I'm at the gym, I listen to Metallica. And then if I'm just hanging around, I listen to some good country. So right now, Bailey Zimmerman, I'm really into him. He's fantastic. And I just discovered Zach Bryan like a week ago, which I can't believe because he's unbelievable.
Okay. And, should somebody come out to see a Jenny Grace performance, what should they expect?
So they should expect to be, I hope, blown away and, just kind of into my music from then on, I hope. And, I hope we create relationships together. We follow each other on social media and we grow together, because I've met a lot of people from shows and we still are in touch today. And it's really nice to do that.
Okay. And the last question I have is, we're through 3/4 of the year already. I don't know if it's been a good year or, not up to your standards or whatever it may be. I know I could have done a little bit more this year, but for the remainder of the year, what's going on for Jenny Grace for the remainder of the year?
Yeah, so exciting. I'm on the side stage with Zach Brown in September, which is awesome. September 2nd in New Hampshire. And then we're going to, once we do our show, we're going to go over and watch him. He's one of my favorite artists of all time. So I was really happy when I got that gig. And then, September, I'm going to the studio first I'm going to Blue Ridge Rock Fest because I have to see Pantera.
Oh.
And then I'm going to go to the studio and record, I would say at least 2 more songs. I got to get some more music out and, just kind of hang out the rest of the year. I'm excited for the fall, even though everyone loves summer. I'm a fall person, so.
Oh, well, I definitely like fall, and, being here in Florida now, I mean, I've been in Texas and Florida, and the older I get, the more I can't wait till fall, because I just get so tired of the heat. And really our fall doesn't start till about January anyway, but
I know.
I always can't wait till it cools down. And, definitely good luck with, what you got in the remainder of the year. Of course, when you release those songs, I'll definitely be putting on my New Music Friday post. And once again, everybody, check out Jenny Grace on her social medias. It's Jenny Grace Official. You could also find her on the website, jennygracemusic.com. And Jenny, like I said, I know you got a busy schedule, so thanks so much for talking with us here on Hank's Corner.
Thank you so much for having me. It was nice meeting you.
I've never seen a more perfect night. Something about you just feels so right. 1,000,000 stars shining in the sky. Driving with the top down. Driving with the top down. I'm getting ready. You pick me up at 8. My hair had a perfect night till you dropped the top down and the wind blew it all around. I tried to get in, but the tire's too high, so you grab my hand and we go for a ride in the moonlight. Let's get out of this town. We're driving with the top down. We're driving with the top down. We're driving with the top down.